Shenluo Guizun and Yaohua Liangjun joined hands. Numerous incomparably ferocious Do Qi attacks continuously poured out. They wildly flew toward Xiaoyan. It was obvious that the two intended to rely on their numbers to forcefully grind Xiaoyan to death. Flame-splitting tsunami. Open mountain seal. Xiaoyan's expression was grave when he faced these two crazy attacks, but powerful Do Qi was unleashed as he pleased. He then randomly attacked and collided with the attacks of the duo. Bang 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 bang. The sky had become extremely excited because of this incomparably intense battle. Bright, beautiful energies exploded apart like fireworks. The explosive sounds of energy colliding made themselves known. One could even vaguely sense the energy ripples within a 50-kilometer radius. Seeing Xiaoyan grow fiercer the more he fought, Shenluo Guizun started to frown in a tight manner. Such a prolonged battle had exhausted their Do Qi by a frightening extent. The two of them felt that the Do Qi within their bodies had been greatly reduced. However, Xiaoyan did not show any signs of weakening and instead appeared to be full of energy. Yaohua! Shenluo Guizun suddenly cried out after gently inhaling a breath of air. Upon hearing his cry, Yaohua Liangjun slightly nodded. The aura all over his body suddenly changed. An extremely rich killing desire slowly spread from both their bodies. Xiaoyan frowned upon sensing their killing auras, which had suddenly turned demon-like. This kind of feeling was not foreign to him. The old me shall see how much you can endure today. The murderous auras swiftly spread. Shenluo Guizun's eyes suddenly widened. He sharply cried out, "Heaven offering demon hand." A substance-like killing fog billowed from their bodies after his cry sounded. The fog formed a cluster of dark clouds in front of them. The dark cloud moved and 100-meter large dark black hand suddenly rushed out. After which, it reached toward Xiaoyan. The dark black large hand was filled with a murderous aura that caused one's heart to chill. This kind of desire to kill was formed from the will of the duo. If this hand were to strike Xiaoyan, it would definitely damage his resolve. The heaven-offering demon hand, huh? Xiaoyan merely laughed as he studied the enormous hand that grabbed at him from all directions. His body trembled. A similar wave of sharp killing desire surged out of his body in a lightning-like fashion. Within a short instant, another dark black hand rapidly formed in front of shocked eyes. After which, the hand rushed over and violently collided with the large hand. Bang! The two collided. However, no loud explosions appeared, only a slight muffled sound could be heard. The murderous intent widely spread. Shenluo Guizun's and Yaohua Liangjun's breathing became heavier once they were infected by this murderous aura. The two auras began to erode each other after they collided. After which, they slowly scattered. The desire to kill suddenly dispersed. Three pale-looking people appeared within it. You actually know one of the ultimate and most guarded sect skills of my profound sky sect, the heaven-offering demon hand. Shenluo Guizun's expression was full of disbelief as he stared at Xiaoyan. That Do skill that Xiaoyan had used earlier was obviously the same as theirs. Xiaoyan ignored the stern cry. The heaven-offering demon hand was something he had obtained from the hands of He Chen of the profound sky sect. Xiaoyan had frequently practiced it after obtaining it. However, this was the first time that he had used it. The effect he had obtained appeared not bad. Do not give him the opportunity to relax. He has also been exhausted. Yaohua Liangjun's expression was a little ugly as he yelled in a deep voice. Shenluo Guizun slightly nodded. He was just about to attack when he saw a strange smile suddenly lift onto Xiaoyan's face. Xiaoyan then slowly parted his hand. The two of them suddenly sensed the natural energy around them start to boil like water. Wave after wave of substance-like energy continuously rushed toward Xiaoyan's body. With the support of this vast and mighty energy, the paleness on Xiaoyan's face slowly disappeared. This is Tian class Qi method. Shenluo Guizun's group was immediately dull when they witnessed this scene. With their experience, they were naturally aware that this act of plundering energy was something that could only be achieved by a legendary Tian class Qi method. No wonder the two of us are unable to exhaust him no matter how we fight. This fellow has the support of a Tian class Qi method. The mouths of the duo twitched. By possessing the support of a Tian class Qi method, Xiaoyan's Do Qi was basically endless. The two of them, on the other hand, would experience a time when their doqi was exhausted. Just how were they going to fight such a battle? Xiao Yan's eyes were slowly opened while the two were shocked. He sensed that his body was filled with a lot more doqi, causing him to involuntarily smile. He mockingly asked the other two, again. Shenluo Guizin's expression became gloomy when he saw the way Xiao Yan acted. He said, "You should not act so pleased. Our profound sky sect is not the only one interested in you." After uttering these words, Shenluo Guizin's eyes landed on the forest below. He cried out, "If you do not attack, this brat will end up escaping again." "Ha ha, Elder Shenluo, please be reassured that he will not be able to run. I was afraid that he possesses a spatial jade that He Chen made him. Therefore, I sealed this space first." Shenluo Guizin's cry had just sounded when a faint laugh rang out. The sky became slightly distorted and a figure slowly appeared. Xiao Yan's heart sank when he saw the familiar figure that appeared in the sky. "Ninth Tianzun, even you have come." Space distorted as a figure slowly appeared. The figure had blue hair and wore blue robes. This figure was the ninth Tianzun. The person who had led the experts from the Hall of Soul to the Falling Star Pavilion back then. Xiao Yan remembered this person well. If Yao Lao had not advanced to a Ban Sheng, the Falling Star Pavilion would have ended up with great losses during that attack. It is unexpected that even this person has come. Xiao Yan's eyes slightly flickered. From the looks of the situation, it seemed that the Hall of Souls and the Profound Sky Sect showed signs of ganging up. This discovery caused him to feel deflated a little. The Profound Sky Sect might not be comparable to the Hall of Souls, but it was still a strong faction. Should these two parties cooperate, a great pressure would fall on the Falling Star Pavilion. "Xiao Yan, you are really quite bold. If you had remained within the Falling Star Pavilion, this one wouldn't have been able to do anything to you. It is unexpected that you actually dare to come running out alone." Ninth Tianzun smiled as he looked at Xiao Yan and faintly commented on the situation. Xiao Yan's expression was gloomy. However, he did not say anything. Some thoughts rotated within his heart. The strength of this ninth Tianzun was at least at the 7th to 8th star level. Even after Xiao Yan had unleashed the Skyfire 3 mysterious flame, he would not be able to fight against him. Moreover, from what he had said earlier, this space had been sealed by him. Hence, the spatial jade token the teacher had given him had also lost its effect. Xiao Yan gently exhaled. Within his heart, he did not expect the situation to become so dangerous. However, his current strength had soared. Hence, he did not truly feel a despair. With the Annihilation Fire Lotus and the Great Heaven Creation Palm, he believed that even this ninth Tianzun would have some trouble forcefully receiving them. Moreover, the Flame Mantra Chi method had evolved to a Tian class Chi method. He would not need to worry about entering a weakened state after using the Annihilation Fire Lotus. "Brat, you should just surrender. Do you really think that you will be able to escape the hands of the three of us with just your strength alone?" Shenluo Guizun spoke in a sinister manner. Yaohua Liangjun gently waved the foldable fan in his hand. He looked at the gloomy Xiao Yan and an additional caution quietly appeared within his heart. He had exchanged blows with Xiao Yan back then and naturally understood the great strength of that Annihilation Fire Lotus. Currently, this fellow was being forced to a dead end. Should he become hot-headed and go all out, it was likely that he would fight until everyone suffered. That may not be certain. Xiao Yan coldly laughed. He rotated his right hand and a faint golden light appeared on his palm. Doqi whistled within his body at this moment. "Xiao Yan, don't you wish to rescue your father?" The ninth Tianzun narrowed both of his eyes when he saw the golden light in Xiao Yan's palm. He had personally witnessed Xiao Yan unleash the Great Heaven Creation Palm. Even old ghost Jai Xing was killed on the spot. Thus, he feared this attack. He suddenly cried out when he saw that Xiao Yan wanted to use it. The golden light on Xiao Yan's palm became sluggish when he heard the cold cry of the ninth Tianzun. Xiao Yan glared at him. "Follow this seat back to the Hall of Souls and you will be able to meet your father. If you dare to resist, this seat will kill your father after returning." The ninth Tianzun spoke with a cold and indifferent face. Xiao Yan's eyes were dark and cold as he stared at the ninth Tianzun. A moment later, he laughed. His tone was calm as he replied, "To think that you are actually the ninth tianzun of the Hall of Souls. You even try to use such a foolish tactic. I am not a fool. Only by living properly outside will I truly be able to rescue my father. Once I land in your hands, my Xiao clan will truly be finished. Therefore, this threat of yours is useless against me." The ninth tianzun's eyes became gloomy when they registered Xiao Yan's calm face. He did not expect Xiao Yan to act this way. Of course, it was just as Xiao Yan had said. As long as he was alive, he would be able to rescue Xiao Zhan. However, once Xiao Yan landed in the hands of the Hall of Souls, this slight chance would disappear. This kind of reasoning was not complicated. A person who valued relationships enough to travel a great distance from the Jia Ma Empire to the Central Plains in order to rescue another possessed a high level of reasoning and was able to accept certain choices. Ninth Tianzun, this brat is as cunning as a fox. He will not fall for this trick of yours. Attacking together and capturing him is the right path. Yaohua Liangjun responded. The ninth Tianzun's expression was indifferent as he nodded. He gently took a step forward. The space in front of him became distorted as his body disappeared almost instantly. The next moment, he appeared in front of Xiao Yan in a ghost-like manner. His 5 fingers formed a claw shape and carried a sharp wind as they grabbed at Xiao Yan's throat. The space crumbled wherever the wind from the claw passed. In that case, this seat shall personally act and capture you back. Xiao Yan was expressionless when faced with the sharp wind that suddenly attacked. A faint golden light lingered over his right hand as his fist was thrown heavily. Bang! 2 clusters of wind met in the air. A deep explosion suddenly spread apart. The wind ripple spread in a circular fashion, tearing at the surrounding space until numerous dark black lines appeared. Bam bam! Xiao Yan's body trembled when the two collided. His feet staggered over a dozen steps back. Only then did he stabilize his body. He lifted his somewhat numb right hand as the solemn expression in his eyes became even denser. After these exchanges, he completely understood the strength of this ninth Tianzun. The ninth Tianzun was at the peak of the 7-star level. Only 1 step more and he would reach the 8-star level. Fortunately, my right hand had been tempered by the golden spirit. Otherwise, some injuries would definitely have occurred during this collision. Xiao Yan's eyes flickered. The peak of the 7th star was too strong. He could barely deal with an attack even at his current strength. If he did not use the Great Heaven Creation Palm or the Annihilation Fire Lotus, it would be impossible for him to put up a fight. Ninth Tianzun, do not give this brat any time to rest. He practices a Tian class Qi method and is able to recover very quickly. If things drag on like this, something unexpected might happen. Shenluo Guzun and Yaohua Liangjun came over in a flash after watching the ninth Tianzun reveal his great might to force Xiao Yan back. Shenluo Guzan let out a loud cry and the two attacked together. Incomparably ferocious Do Qi pillars violently rushed toward Xiao Yan without giving him any time to rest. Being able to get all 3 of us to attack together, Xiao Yan, you can be considered someone who is thought highly by us. The ninth Tianzun did not oppose Shenluo Guizan's suggestion. His mission was to capture Xiao Yan. The mission from last time had failed, which displeased the Hall chief. This time around, he had come out on his own accord. If he could capture Xiao Yan, he would have made up for his failure. Hence, he could not bother about the way this looked. Everything could be discussed after capturing Xiao Yan. The ninth Tianzun did not continue to hesitate after this thought flashed through his heart. His body moved, and he once again rushed forward. A majestic Do Qi surged in all directions when he lifted his hand. Its might caused even the sky to tremble. Bang bang bang. The surging energy in the sky continued to explode. Faced with the attacks of 2 6-star Do Zuns and 1 7-star Do Zun, even Xiao Yan was in a dangerous situations. If he did not have the help of his speed and the might of his heavenly flames, he would have been seriously injured by these 3. Nevertheless, as the battle became white-hot, the situation became worse and worse for him. Bang! Xiao Yan was once again forced to collide with the palm of the ninth Tianzun. After which, the bone wings behind his body swiftly flapped and 2 after-images appeared. Only then did he narrowly dodge the sneak attacks made by Yaohua Liangjun and Shenluo Guizun. Taking advantage of this opportunity, he withdrew from the area surrounded by those three. Xiao Yan's expression turned dark and dense after having pulled back. A golden light surged on his right palm. Do Qi surged out of his body and poured into his palm. Be careful, he is about to use a Tian class Do skill. The ninth Tianzun's body suddenly came to an abrupt halt when he saw what Xiao Yan was doing. He informed them in a dense voice. The ninth Tianzun's words startled Shenluo Guizun and Yaohua Liangjun. They began to rapidly pull back. Great heaven creation palm. Xiao Yan's expression was gloomy. The energy on his palm brightened. An instant later, a strange black glow appeared. His palm slammed toward the empty space below. Kai. A strange spherical black light immediately spread with lightning-like speed after his palm was pushed down. At the same time, an extremely strong suction force erupted from the spherical light. The ninth Tianzun and the two others slowed after being influenced by the frightening suction force. They looked at the black light sphere that was rapidly expanding. The ninth Tianzun's expression sank. He cried out, "Do not panic. A Tian class Do skill might be powerful, but the three of us can still receive it if we join hands." The ninth Tianzun's body was the first to turn after crying out. Do Qi surged out of his body without any restraint. The vast and mighty Do Qi caused tiny raindrops to slowly fall. Shenluo Guizun and Yaohua Liangjun hesitated for a moment after seeing the ninth Tianzun stop fleeing. They also clenched their teeth and summoned all the Do Qi within their bodies. In an instant, Do Qi whistled through the sky like a hurricane that brought about a whining sound. Ha! Do Qi surged explosively out of the bodies of the three of them. They formed three Do Qi pillars that were 1,000 feet large. The pillars lingered over the heads of the three of them and rotated once around. After which, they emitted a swoosh sound as they rushed over to collide with the black light circle. Bang! A couple of extremely frightening energies collided together. At this moment, even the sun became dim. A frightening energy storm expanded from the point of contact. The densely packed trees below appeared like harvested wheat. With a crushing sound, their trunks were broken in spectacular ways. The energy storm spread. That unmatchable black light sphere was forcefully prevented from spreading. However, the suction force within it remained terrifying. The 3,000-foot-long Do Qi pillars were swallowed into the empty black hole. Only then did the sphere slowly disappear. Seeing the black light sphere disappearing, Shenluo Guizun and Yaohua Liangjun both heaved a sigh of relief. A horror was present in their eyes. If the ninth Tianzun hadn't been here, just the two of them alone wouldn't have been able to contend with this frightening Do skill. The ninth Tianzun's face was a little pale. Clearly, he was exhausted by this act. Fortunately, he had managed to block Xiao Yan's killing blow. Next, he slowly raised his head. His eyes were dense as he stared at Xiao Yan a short distance away and ferociously laughed. "Now, this seat shall see what other tactics you have." A cold smile also surfaced on Xiao Yan's face when he saw the ninth Tianzun's ferocious smile. He clenched his hand and 4 types of heavenly flames appeared. "Relax, I will ensure that all of you will eat to your heart's content." The ferocious smile on the face of the ninth Tianzun turned green when he saw the 4 types of heavenly flames in Xiao Yan's palm. "Ah, little brother Xiao Yan. I have finally found you." A spatial crack line suddenly split open while the ninth Tianzun's face was green. Following the formation of the spatial crack, a strong figure anxiously stumbled out of it. He cleared his throat and wailed at Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan was startled when he saw this familiar figure. He Chen a stunned voice, "He Chen." The human figure that came out of the spatial crack had a burly build, with the back of a tiger and the waist of a bear. The figure emitted a rich ferocious aura. His appearance surprisingly resembled the expert from the ancient Void Dragon tribe, whom Xiao Yan had met, He Chen. "Old brother He Chen, why have you come?" Xiao Yan was also startled as this human figure suddenly appeared. His tone was filled with surprise. "Ah, I have come to look for you regarding some matters. Those old fellows from the tribe have dispatched me to find you. Damn it. Fortunately, Ziyan left a dragon seal on you. Otherwise, I really would have ended up looking for you until I died." He Chen looked at Xiao Yan as though he had found his savior. He hurriedly rushed over and heaved a great sigh of relief. "Look for me. Xiao Yan knit his brows upon hearing this. What matter could lead an ancient void dragon to him? Could it be? Has something happened to Ziyan? Xiao Yan's eyes suddenly widened as he turned to He Chen and asked a question in a deep voice. She is not in trouble. However, there is something that requires your help. If you have the time, you should leave with me. He Chen rubbed his head as he spoke. Xiao Yan hesitated for a moment when he saw He Chen's somewhat grave expression. After which, he nodded. It seemed that the matter was quite a big one. Otherwise, it would not cause an expert like He Chen to be this frantic. Once I resolve the trouble here, I will take a trip with you. Is there some trouble? He Chen recovered only after hearing Xiao Yan's words. He turned his head, took a look, and continued in a stunned manner. It is that old Sok Mo Yu from the Hall of Souls. Do you remember this Uncle He Chen? He Chen. The ninth tianzun was slightly startled. His expression was gloomy as he suddenly appeared to have remembered something. His expression changed a little as he exclaimed, "You are He Chen from the ancient void dragon tribe." As the name, He Chen, something that an old Sok like you can say. With your position as the ninth, you do not possess the qualification to do so. He Chen wrapped his arms in front of his chest. He curled his mouth and did not give any face to the ninth tianzun. The ninth tianzun's face became extremely dark and gloomy when he heard He Chen's rude words. However, he did not reveal any fury because he clearly understood that this large man in front of him was an extremely troublesome fellow. Even he was no match for this person. This friend. This old self is an elder of the profound sky sect, Shenluo Guizun. This Xiao Yan is a person that my profound sky sect intends to capture. I hope that this friend will not intervene. The ninth tianzun was aware of He Chen's background, but Shenluo Guizun was not. After seeing Xiao Yan gradually fall into a disadvantage, how could they let him just flee? So Shenluo Guizun cupped his hands together and spoke in a deep voice. Profound Sky Sect. What is this thing? He Chen knit his brows. He waved his hands somewhat impatiently and said, all of you should hurry up and get lost. I am looking for little brother Xiao Yan regarding some matters. Stop wasting this father's damn time. You. Shenluo Guizun and Yahua Liangzhen's expressions changed after hearing He Chen's vulgarities. They both furiously cried out, you dare to disrespect my profound sky sect. You are seeking death. After their loud cries sounded, the two of them stepped through empty space. Their bodies immediately rushed forward like lightning. Dark and cold Do Qi violently smashed toward He Chen without being held back. 2 6-star Do Zuns actually possess the courage to scream in front of this father. He Chen laughed out of anger when he saw the two rushing over and advanced instead of pulling back. Both of his fists tightened and the muscles all over his body fluctuated in a strange manner. Finally, he sent his fists forward without any fancy attacks. Bang! 2 metal fists smashed out and formed 2 black spatial marks. The black spatial marks moved quickly before violently colliding with the duo. Just what is this fellow's origin? The bodies of Shenluo Guizun's group trembled after the collision. Their expressions immediately turned pale. The frightening strength they faced, which seemed to be able to destroy everything, caused a terror to surge from deep within their hearts. Grug. The terror had just appeared when their throats filled with something sweet. They both spat out a mouthful of fresh blood. Their bodies flew back like kites with their strings broken. They violently shot into the forest below, smashing into the ground and forming a 100-meter deep pit. The powerful remnant force completely destroyed the large trees within a 100-meter radius. Clap clap. He Chen sent the two flying with a punch from each fist. After which, he patted his hands together. His face was filled with ridicule. His eyes, which contained some ill intent, glanced at the gloomy face of the ninth tianzun. He said, Mo Yu, are you going to get lost by yourself or shall this father do it for you? He Chen, you should not act so arrogantly. Xiao Yan is someone the Hall chief wants to capture. Are you really going to protect him? Ninth tianzun coldly demanded. He Chen narrowed his eyes. He rubbed his hands together as he replied in a faint voice, this father doesn't care about all this. Those old fellows from the clan want me to find Xiao Yan. Since this father is here, everyone should forget about bringing him away. Crack. The fury within the eyes of the ninth tianzun surged. Both of his hands slowly tightened and emitted cracking sounds. Frightening do qi slowly spread from his body. You wish to fight. All right, the old me also wishes to see if you have improved after so many years. He Chen coldly chuckled. His body became distorted. It emitted a muffled thunder-like bone explosion. Following the sound of these bones appearing, his body became even larger. An extremely powerful pressure was vaguely emitted from his strong body. The ninth Tianzun's eyes twitched involuntarily when he sensed the pressure. He inhaled a deep breath of air and suppressed the fury within his heart. He was aware that he was no match for He Chen with his strength. Even if he attacked, he would not gain an advantage. Moreover, the control over space that an ancient void dragon exhibited was something that no one could match. Even someone stronger than an ancient void dragon would find it difficult to defeat and successfully retain the other party. He Chen, I don't believe that you can protect this brat forever. The ninth Tianzun spoke in a dense tone. It is not up to you to be concerned about this. He Chen glanced at him and replied. HMPH. The ninth Tianzun coldly snorted. His heart was filled with an unwillingness. It was unexpected that he had successfully avoided Yao Chen, but had ended up attracting someone from the ancient void dragon tribe. He did not expect Xiao Yan to have a relationship with this tribe. Since He Chen had shown himself, the ninth Tianzun understood that capturing Xiao Yan had become an impossible task. The ninth Tianzun could only clench his teeth when he thought of this. He stared at Xiao Yan viciously and said, Xiao Yan, you can't just hide forever. I do not believe that someone will always be there to rescue you. After uttering those words, the ninth Tianzun ceased to remain in this place. He turned around and was just about to leave when He Chen suddenly opened his mouth. Mo Yu, when you return, inform those people above you not to go against Xiao Yan and the members of the Xiao clan. The grudges between the Hun Soul clan and the Xiao clan have ceased to exist by now. By going overboard, there will come a point in time where all of you will regret it. These words are not spoken by this father. They are spoken by those old fellows within the tribe. The ninth Tianzun narrowed his eyes when he heard He Chen's final sentence. He coldly laughed. It is pointless telling me this. No one will be able to stop my Hall of Souls from doing anything. The Gu clan cannot, and your ancient void dragon tribe also cannot. The ninth Tianzun's body shook after uttering these words. He transformed into a ray of light and disappeared into the horizon in the blink of an eye. He Chen gently rubbed his fist as he watched the ninth Tianzun's disappearing figure. His expression was cold. A moment later, he turned his head to look at Xiao Yan. He smiled and said, Little brother Xiao Yan, are you all right? I have troubled old brother to intervene again. Xiao Yan cupped his hands as he replied. It doesn't matter. This time around, my ancient void dragon tribe is going to have to trouble you. He Chen shook his head. He hesitated for a moment before continuing, you will become aware of the exact reason once you have come with me. If there is nothing else, can we leave now? This matter is of great importance. Nothing must go wrong. Seeing that even He Chen, who had a rough character, was acting with such seriousness, Xiao Yan's heart was solemn. Just what had caused the ancient void dragon tribe to become this anxious? Yes, however, can I bring my friend along? Xiao Yan pointed at Qing Lin a short distance away. When He Chen appeared, the elder from the profound sky sect, who had been entangled in a battle with Qing Lin, swiftly withdrew. He withdrew even quicker when he saw He Chen send Shenluo Guizen's group flying with a punch. That fellow was so frightened that he dared not approach. Yes, it's fine. He Chen glanced at Qing Lin and nodded. Xiao Yan only sighed in relief after seeing a nod. It had only been a short while since the ninth Tianzun had left. He was worried about Qing Lin returning alone. It was naturally for the best that He Chen had agreed. While Xiao Yan sighed in relief, he waved his hand and returned the sky demon puppet, which had been beaten until thousands of scars and hundreds of holes had appeared on its body. He sighed quietly within his heart. The sky demon puppet, which had followed him for a long time, showed signs of becoming scrap. After Xiao Yan stored away the puppet, Qing Lin also returned her experts into her eyes, leaving a frightened Hua Jin standing in the sky. She showed her terror while she looked at He Chen. His might caused her to feel shocked. Young Master Xiao Yan, are we going to let this woman off? It's her fault we were intercepted this time around. Qing Lin softly inquired. There is no time. Xiao Yan glanced at the woman and shook his head. They were pressed for time and he was too lazy to personally teach this woman a lesson. Big brother He Chen, let's leave. Xiao Yan turned to look at He Chen as he spoke. Yes. He Chen nodded. His hand lifted through the air in front of him and tore a spatial crack. Xiao Yan and Qing Lin's bodies entered in a flash. Hua Jin sighed in relief when she saw Xiao Yan's group leaving. She uttered a string of vicious curses in her stomach. However, those curses had just appeared in her heart when He Chen, whose foot had just stepped toward the spatial crack line in the sky, paused. He waved his large hand without turning his head. Waves of frightening forces tore through space and landed on Hua Jin's body in an instant. Grug. An incomparably strong force caused Hua Jin to spit out a mouthful of fresh blood. Her body violently smashed into a mountain. Large rocks rolled down and buried her deep underneath. Do not think that this father will not attack you just because you are a woman. He Chen swung his large hand. After sending Hua Jin flying with a slap, he flashed closer to the spatial crack. With a kai sound, he entered it and disappeared with it. The interior of the spatial crack consisted of a strange tunnel that was filled with a faint silver light. The tunnel extended to an unknown end. Xiao Yan's trio of people were swiftly flying through it. He is indeed worthy of being an ancient void dragon. To be able to build such a long-distance tunnel with just the strength of one person. Some surprise surfaced within Xiao Yan's heart as he studied the spatial tunnel. This ability was something that even an ordinary expert at the peak of the Dozun class would have difficulty performing. It was likely that only those elite Doshengs as well as the ancient dragons, whose control over the spatial strength had reached the pinnacle, could do this. He Chen was leading the way with a somewhat grave expression. He did not say much along the way. Both Xiao Yan and Qing Lin could only remain quiet. Xiao Yan's brows were knit. Just what exactly happened to cause He Chen to be this serious? The three of them shuttled through the spatial tunnel for nearly an hour. The uniform silver light in the surroundings caused Xiao Yan to feel a little giddy and dazzled. Just when he was about to shut his eyes and rest a little, He Chen suddenly reduced his speed. Xiao Yan's eyes followed He Chen's as he looked into the distance, only to see that there was a vague silver light circle at the end. Have we arrived? Xiao Yan's attention was braced when he saw the light circle. His speed was raised as he followed close behind He Chen. A moment later, the three of them transformed into three figures of light that charged into the silver circle. Xiao Yan's sight momentarily became blurry after having charged into the light circle. Suddenly, his vision returned. The scene in front of him was no longer filled with that monotonous silver color. A lush green mountain filled his eyes now. This is. Xiao Yan was standing high in the air. He was startled after he processed the land that appeared in front of him. Of course, using the word, islands, to describe the things in front was likely a little more suitable. The size of this island was extremely spacious. There was a faint silver circular outline in the sky above the island. It formed of a bowl-like shape, wrapping the entire island in it. Xiao Yan studied the light barrier only for him to be stunned because the outside was actually empty space that caused one's heart to feel cold. This island was suspended within empty space. What grandness! Even Xiao Yan involuntarily inhaled a gentle breath of cool air when he realized this. Although the size of the island was no match for the realms that elite Doshengs created, this place was even more hidden. Even an elite Dozun would not dare to randomly barge into the realm of emptiness. Creating a resting place in this area was extremely safe. No wonder one seldom heard about any news related to the ancient void dragon in the Central Plains. They were living within the realm of emptiness. Follow me. He Chen looked below him. After which, he waved his hand and took the lead to land on a certain island. Xiao Yan and Qing Lin hurriedly followed behind him. Young Master Xiao Yan, the aura here is really frightening. Qing Lin, who was following beside Xiao Yan, softly made a comment. Xiao Yan nodded in agreement. He could vaguely sense that there were quite a number of powerful as well as hidden auras that existed around this dragon island. It seemed that they were the experts from the ancient void dragon tribe. This kind of discovery caused him to feel a little speechless. It was indeed worthy of being the peak existence within the Magical beast world. It was the first time that he had sensed so many powerful auras. Moreover, he couldn't even classify these auras. He believed that there were definitely some auras that even he was unable to sense on this ancient dragon island. They were truly frightening existences. The two of them followed He Chen toward a mountain in the middle of the island. Along the way, they met a couple of figures that appeared to be patrolling. When these figures saw He Chen, they stopped moving and swept their surprised eyes over Xiao Yan and Qing Lin before withdrawing. The trio slowly landed on top of the large mountain. The three of them had just landed when a white-robed figure quietly appeared in front of the three of them. He Chen greets third elder. He Chen cupped his hands the moment he saw the white-robed elder in front of him. He pointed at Xiao Yan and said, "This is Zi Yan's friend, Xiao Yan. KK, please do not blame us for being reckless by calling young friend Xiao Yan over with such haste." The white-robed old man smiled as he spoke to Xiao Yan upon hearing He Chen's words. "This is third elder, Zuli. Elder Zuli is too polite. Zi Yan is my friend. I will naturally hurry over if she is in any trouble." Although the old man in front reveals a friendly and warm face, Xiao Yan did not dare to slight him. Xiao Yan could sense an incomparable pressure emanating from the old man's body. This kind of pressure appeared to influence his soul. If his spiritual strength wasn't strong to begin with, he probably would not even be able to say anything. This elder Zuli is likely an expert that has reached the peak of the Dozun class. He might even have reached the Bansheng level-like teacher. The ancient void dragon tribe is indeed filled with many hidden experts. Xiao Yan quietly spoke to himself in his heart. The corner of his eyes involuntarily twitched when he sensed this pressure. Elder Zuli smiled. He fondled his snow-white beard. His calm eyes suddenly landed on Qing Lin behind Xiao Yan, and he was immediately startled. He said with some surprise, "This is triple jade green snake flower pupils. This scent, it is actually the ancient heaven serpent." The surprise in Elder Zuli's voice had become much denser when he finished speaking. He seemed uncertain. It is unexpected that there is an ancient heaven serpent's soul still existing in this world. Qing Lin carefully glanced at Elder Zuli in front of her. She softly made a sound of acknowledgement. The ancient heaven serpent was rumored to have fought with the ancient void dragons during ancient times. Now that the two species had met again, the ancient heaven serpent's soul within her body fluctuated a little unusually. However, it was fortunate that she was able to suppress it. Although an ancient heaven serpent was strong, this was the territory of the ancient void dragons. If that fellow was allowed to come out, it was likely that it would be beaten into a pulp by the many ancient void dragons here. KK, young lady, there is no need to be afraid. The ancient heaven serpent tribe has already ceased to exist. Those grudges from the ancient times were settled a long time ago. However, the ancient heaven serpent soul is naturally ferocious and difficult to control. You should be careful. Do not allow yourself to be controlled by it. Zuli laughed. Yes. Qing Lin tilted her head. With the triple jade green snake flower pupils, she was not afraid the heaven serpent soul retaliating. Elder Zuli, may I know what exactly has happened to Zi Yan? Xiao Yan hesitated for a moment before he involuntarily asked. Zuli became quiet upon hearing the question. A moment later, he softly sighed and said, "It is all because of that Dragon Phoenix origin fruit." Xiao Yan's heart tightened. He quietly uttered, "As expected." While he was traveling here, he had guessed that this matter would likely be related to the Dragon Phoenix origin fruit that they had obtained from the ancient remains back then. It was unexpected that he had guessed correctly. Xian is part of the royal bloodline of our ancient void dragon tribe. Her father was the king of my ancient void dragons back then. He had suddenly gone missing and Xian had gone missing with him. She was only sensed by us when she arrived in the Central Plains a couple of years ago. Speaking of this, it is all thanks to you. Missing. Xiao Yan was slightly startled when he heard these words. He fell deep into thought. He had not only found Xian, but also the corpse of a heaven demon phoenix in the Black Corner region. Could it be that this heaven demon phoenix's corpse was related to Xian's father? Since Xian's father could become the king of the ancient void dragon tribe, it was likely that his strength was extremely frightening. In that case, where could he have gone running to that even Xian was abandoned by him? The dragon phoenix origin fruit is a mysterious treasure that is extremely unlikely to grow after absorbing the blood of an ancient void dragon and that of a heaven phoenix. This kind of fruit can change the blood of an ancient dragon or heaven phoenix, allowing one's body to possess the specialty of both creatures and gain a true magical beast king bloodline. Elder Zuli continued while Xiao Yan was deep in thought. Ever since Ziyan brought back the dragon phoenix origin fruit, we decided to allow her to inherit the strength after some discussion. One reason is because she has the blood of royalty. Once she enters her matured state, she will become the new queen of the ancient dragons. Thus, it is most suitable for her to possess this bloodline. The second is because she is still young and has the ability to adapt. It will be easier for her to absorb this dragon phoenix origin fruit. Elder Zuli involuntarily laughed with a bitter tone when he spoke until this point. He continued, however, the outcome has somewhat exceeded our expectation. The dragon phoenix origin fruit's energy is too powerful. Ziyan's body is unable to completely absorb this frightening energy. Hence, the energy has started to solidify. Energy solidifying. Xiao Yan was startled when he heard this phrase. What do you mean? Follow me. Elder Zuli sighed. He turned around and walked toward a stone hall in the mountain. Xiao Yan hurriedly followed behind him. The couple of them followed behind Zuli as they traversed through the stone hall. The few of them finally halted their footsteps deep within the large hall. This large hall was built from a huge rock. In the middle of the large hall was a towering altar. At this moment, a lovely little figure was quietly lying on top of the altar. Xiao Yan glanced over. His eyes focused on that lovely little body. His expression immediately changed. He could see that there was a layer of crystal that appeared like ice, covering every part of the body. If one were to look carefully, one would discover that this was not only the case outside of the body. Even the interior of the body was occupied by this kind of crystal body. In other words, Ziyan had transformed into a crystal body that was without any life. Who? Xiao Yan's eyes solidified on the altar. A long while later, he finally exhaled a deep breath of air. His expression was quite ugly. With his eyesight, he was naturally able to tell that there was no life force on Ziyan's body at this moment. If he wasn't able to sense a little familiar spiritual fluctuation, it was likely that he would have thought that Ziyan had already died. This is the solidifying of energy. Elder Zuli beside Xiao Yan also sighed. He said, the energy of the dragon phoenix origin fruit is really too frightening. It solidified and filled every part of Ziyan's body. If Ziyan is unable to absorb this energy, she will forever be in this state like a living dead. All of you are really too reckless. Even though Xiao Yan was aware that the strength of the elder in front of him was extremely terrifying, he still involuntarily yelled with a furious voice. If this matter was not resolved properly, Ziyan would probably lose her life. Elder Zuli also bitterly smiled. He shook his head when he heard Xiao Yan's cry. However, he did not say anything. It was likely that he also felt regret. Little brother Xiao Yan, you should also not blame third elder. Even the ancient void dragon tribe has only come across the dragon phoenix origin fruit a couple of times. Hence, we do not really understand it. Such a thing has occurred due to our lack of understanding. He Chen by the side urged. Has the dragon phoenix origin fruit been successfully absorbed before? Xiao Yan appeared to have recalled something as he suddenly asked. Yes, however, it has only successfully been absorbed twice. One was obtained by the heaven phoenix. Hence, the heaven phoenix tribe produced an extremely powerful person. During that period of time, even the ancient void dragon tribe was completely suppressed by them. Fortunately, after a couple of hundred years, our ancient void dragon tribe finally obtained a dragon phoenix origin fruit and managed to turn things around. However, during the final bloody battle between the two tribes, those two experts, who possessed extremely powerful bloodlines, ended up dying together. Elder Zuli nodded. He said, ever since that time, the heaven phoenix tribe began to gradually disappear. The dragon phoenix origin fruit didn't appear again. The old me has seen it for the first time in my life this time around. It has only been successful twice, huh? Xiao Yan knit his brows and immediately sighed. He understood that getting entangled in this matter was really of little use. After which, he asked, how can we rescue Ziyan now? This kind of solidified energy that is formed by the dragon phoenix origin fruit is extremely hard. Even the old me is unable to break it. Zuli said. Moreover, if it was broken, this energy would be wasted. Are you still going to bother with this energy even now? Xiao Yan questioned with a frown. Ah, little friend Xiao Yan, you are unaware of the current situation of my ancient void dragon tribe. We are currently in great need of a tribe leader who possesses the royal bloodline and who is able to control the situation. Zuli bitterly laughed. What happened? The ancient void dragon tribe is powerful. What situation do you face that causes all of you to find it troublesome to deal with? Xiao Yan was also stunned when he understood what Zuli was asking in a somewhat surprised voice. Zuli hesitated for a moment after hearing this question. A moment later, he finally clenched his teeth and said, little friend Xiao Yan and my ancient void dragon tribe have quite a deep relationship. It is fine to tell you, the ancient dragon island that you see now is actually not the complete ancient dragon island. Instead, it is merely 1/4 of the original ancient dragon island. 1/4. Xiao Yan was startled. He reacted quickly. What about the other 3 portions? The ancient void dragon tribe was divided into 4 groups not long after Ziyan's father went missing. The ancient void dragon island has also been divided into 4. Each of them are drifting in this empty realm. Zuli said. In other words, the ancient void dragon tribe that you see now is actually not whole. Hiss. Xiao Yan involuntarily inhaled a gentle breath of cool air. Just 1/4 of its strength was already this frightening. Was the strength of the ancient void dragon tribe not a little too strong? No wonder they have continued to survive since the ancient times without being destroyed. Every once in a while, the 4 dragon islands will meet in the empty realm. At that time, we will definitely exchange blows. The other 3 islands chiefs all wish to dominate the ancient void dragon tribe. However, there is little difference in their strength. Hence, the ancient void dragon tribe still remains in a split state after so many years. Zuli sighed. The other 3 islands also possess an ancient void dragon with a royal bloodline. Xiao Yan softly asked. This ancient void dragon tribe clearly placed great emphasis on their bloodline. Unless there was some special circumstances, an ordinary ancient void dragon should find it difficult to be in command. They can barely be considered to have it. However, their bloodlines are far from being as pure as Ziyan's. Zuli shook his head and continued, the reason that we are so anxious to have Ziyan absorb the dragon phoenix origin fruit is because we hope she will evolve as quickly as possible and subsequently unite the ancient void dragon tribe the next time the 4 islands meet. No wonder. Xiao Yan also gained a sudden understanding in his heart. No wonder the ancient void dragon has kept such a low profile during these years. It was not because they liked to. Instead, it was because of an internal conflict that caused them to be unable to divert their attention to fight other powerful enemies. This reason is why tribes like the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe and the 9 Serene Deep Ground Python tribe are allowed to rise within the magical beast world. Zuli sighed. His tone clearly appeared to have exceptional disdain for the other 2 large tribes. During the ancient times, only the ancestors of these 2 tribes could contend with the ancient dragon tribe. Just what were these descendants who relied on a remnant bloodline supposed to be? It is unexpected that the ancient void dragon tribe still possesses such a secret. However, their ability to keep a secret is really too good. Hardly any factions on the continent were aware of the inner conflict of the ancient void dragon tribe. Xiao Yan quietly smacked his tongue. I hope that little friend Xiao Yan will keep this matter a secret. After all, if it were to spread, it would be difficult to be certain that certain large factions, which have come into conflict with my ancient dragon tribe, will not intervene. Zuli spoke with a serious face. Elder Zuli, please rest assured that I will not spread this news. Xiao Yan also nodded with a grave expression. He immediately turned to the altar. He said, since Elder Zuli has called me here, it is likely that you think that I can be of some help to Ziyan, right? If I guess correctly, it should be the heavenly flame, no? Xiao Yan admitted to himself that there were only 2 ways he could catch the eyes of the ancient void dragon. One was his alchemist skill while the other was the heavenly flame within his body. Although Xiao Yan had advanced to a tier 8 alchemist guru, there were definitely better alchemists than him within the Central Plains. Since that was the case, there was only one final possibility, the heavenly flames. KK, you are indeed worthy of being Xiao Zhan's descendant. Zuli laughed and nodded. He said, the energy crystal layer that is formed by the dragon phoenix origin fruit is extremely hard. Even I am unable to break it. Hence, if one wishes to melt the crystal layer and force this energy into Ziyan's body, one can only rely on the strength of a heavenly flame. However, an ordinary heavenly flame is of little use against this kind of energy crystal. Only a heavenly flame that is ranked among the top 10 on the heavenly flame ranking can suffice. Moreover, little friend Xiao Yan possesses many types of heavenly flames and is able to merge them together. Their might is definitely comparable to a heavenly flame at the 6th or 7th rank. It is not impossible to use it to deal with this energy crystal. The old me is also aware that some experts on the central plains possess a heavenly flame. However, only little friend Xiao Yan is someone who possesses such an ability and is trustworthy. Therefore, we got He Chen to hurry and invite you over. Zuli smiled as he explained the situation. Xiao Yan only came to a sudden understanding upon hearing this. Immediately, he pondered the problem. It was not a problem if it merely required a heavenly flame that was ranked among the top 10. After all, just the 3000 burning flame alone had reached this requirement, but there was no need to even mention it after the other 3 types of heavenly flame were merged with it. This matter is related to whether the ancient void dragon can survive in the future. It is of great importance. Therefore, I hope that little friend Xiao Yan will do his best to help. Zuli cupped his hands to Xiao Yan in a solemn manner as he spoke in a deep voice. He Chen behind him also cupped his hands and bowed. Elder Zuli, please rest assured. Ziyan is my friend. I, Xiao Yan, will definitely do my best to help. I will listen to Elder regarding how to carry this out. All you need to do is instruct me wherever you need my help. Xiao Yan replied with a serious expression. There was a greater smile on Elder Zuli's face when he heard Xiao Yan speak. He sighed. If Xiao Zhan was aware that the Xiao clan could produce such an outstanding clan member after him, it is likely that he would be laughing even in the netherworld. I think that Xiao Zhan is unable to compare with this descendant of his. Back then, he had used the bloodline of the Xiao clan to its limits in order to reach that height. However, the clan members after him ended up with a completely wasted bloodline. On the other hand, the current Xiao Yan has reached this height by relying on himself. If he is given sufficient time, it will not be impossible to surpass Xiao Zhan. He Chen laughed. Zuli also smiled and nodded when he heard this. He glanced at Xiao Yan before speaking. You should not blame Xiao Zhan for completely exhausting the remaining bloodline of the Xiao clan. Back then, he wanted to stake everything. If he could break through the Dosheng class, the bloodline strength of the Xiao clan would continue. The Xiao clan would also become an ancient clan like the Jiyu clan. Unfortunately, he had underestimated the difficulty of breaking through the Dosheng class. Finally, he ended up dying full of anger and regret. Xiao Yan might be at a loss when he heard the conversation between the two. However, he vaguely sensed the desperation, pain, and regret that the ancestor had faced back then. The ancestor also did it all for the descendants of the Xiao clan. Xiao Yan curled his mouth. Although he had never met Xiao Zhan, Xiao Yan's heart felt some respect for that ancestor. KK, let's not talk about this. Little friend Xiao Yan, you should rest for 2 days. The old me has to prepare some things beforehand. We'll act once everything is prepared. Zuli also ceased discussing the past. He changed the topic and smiled as he spoke. Yes. Xiao Yan nodded his head. He turned to the small lovely figure that was quietly lying on the altar. His fists tightened as he softly muttered, Ziyan, you can rest assured that I will rescue you. Xiao Yan and Qing Lin remained on the ancient dragon island during the next 2 days. Elder Zuli hurried to prepare the things needed to refine the energy crystal on Ziyan. It was fortunate that he had instructed He Chen to entertain the 2 guests while he was busy. Hence, 2 days swiftly flowed by while waiting in leisure. On the 3rd morning, Elder Zuli finally appeared in front of Xiao Yan with a solemn face. Seeing this, Xiao Yan understood that today was likely the day that they would begin. Little friend Xiao Yan, please follow the old me. Zuli informed Xiao Yan before turning around and leading the way at the front. Xiao Yan swiftly followed behind. Xiao Yan followed Zuli as he flew to the deepest part of the Dragon Island. He discovered that the atmosphere of the Dragon Island appeared much more solemn today. The usually empty sky occasionally had one or two figures flying past. Their eyes were cautiously sweeping outside of the empty realm. Although we have done a good job of keeping this a secret, Xian is really too important to the ancient dragon clan. Therefore, nothing must go wrong. Hence, the defenses of the Dragon Island have reached a high point. Xiao Yan only came to an understanding after hearing Zuli explain why along the way. Xiao Yan could acutely sense that the energy around them had become hotter while he flew toward the deepest part of the Dragon Island. This place, actually has a volcano. Surprise flashed across Xiao Yan's eyes as he sensed it in detail. The ancient void dragon really acted in a grand manner. It was unexpected that they built a genuine volcano on the island. After flying for 10 minutes, Elder Zuli slowly reduced his speed. Xiao Yan followed him and looked ahead. He could see a large mountain ahead. The mountain peak exhibited a concave shape where white, hot smoke curled and rose. Kai. A black figure suddenly hurried over from the distance when Xiao Yan and Zuli arrived in this part of the sky. After which, the figure appeared in front of Xiao Yan's group. You. Tianzun J. Why are you here? Xiao Yan initially gave a random glance at this human figure. Unexpectedly, his glance stilled on this figure. He cried out in disbelief. The human figure in front was wearing a black robe. He carried a metal sword on his back. His appearance was that of Tianzun J, who had accompanied Xiao Yan's group to rescue Yao Lao back then. However, Tianzun J had remained behind to block the black-white Tianzun back then. Originally, Xiao Yan had thought that he was gone, but he ended up unexpectedly meeting him again. Ha ha. Elder Zuli laughed when he saw Xiao Yan's expression. Tianzun J's face also moved a little as he appeared to smile. Could that mysterious expert back then be Elder Zuli? Xiao Yan's eyes were unfocused as he asked Zuli with surprise. I quietly followed Ziyan after she had left. She is far too important to our ancient void dragon clan. How could I allow her to randomly barge around alone? Elder Zuli fondled his beard and laughed. Back then, I had only helped her stabilize the spatial crack and did not do anything else to help. As for Tai Jian, the old me does admire this character of his. Therefore, I rescued him from the hands of the Hall of Souls after you left. It is unexpected that the little me has unknowingly received a favor from Elder Zuli. Xiao Yan bitterly laughed. It is merely a small matter. Elder Zuli randomly waved his hand. After which, his eyes landed on Tianzun J as he asked, is everything prepared? Tianzun J tilted his head in agreement. Elder Zuli also nodded when he saw Tianzun J's response. He waved his hand at Xiao Yan, and his body slowly drifted forward. Finally, he was suspended above the mountain that was emitting a smoke pillar. Xiao Yan followed close behind. His eyes glanced down, only to discover that there was an enormous emerald green cauldron suspended above the mouth of the volcano. It was possible to see a small lovely figure suspended within it. That figure was Ziyan. Little friend Xiao Yan. The fire affinity energy of this place is extremely rich. The might of the heavenly flame will be strengthened by using the heavenly flame here. Elder Zuli pointed at the large cauldron. His expression was a little grave as he said, however, the heavenly flame is too overbearing. Hence, there is a need for extremely outstanding control in order to refine the energy crystal without burning Ziyan. With little friend Xiao Yan's current ability, I think that you should be able to achieve this right. Xiao Yan nodded. He had already reached the pinnacle when it came to the control of a flame. Hence, it was not difficult for him. Elder Zuli also sighed in relief when he saw Xiao Yan nod. His finger pointed to the surrounding mountains as he said, during this period of time, the ancient Void Dragon tribe's experts and the old me will personally remain around here. We will definitely not allow anything to disturb you. Xiao Yan's eyes followed the direction Elder Zuli pointed. With his outstanding perception, he could indeed sense quite a number of extremely powerful auras hidden within the surrounding mountains. Additionally, refining the Dragon Phoenix crystal will not be easy. This will be a task that exhausts a great amount of time. It will also exhaust Do Qi at an extremely frightening rate. Elder Zuli clenched his hand after he spoke. A dense white jade bottle appeared in his hand. He fondled it a little before handing it to Xiao Yan and continued with, "There are 5 drops of ancient dragon essence blood that the old me has personally refined in that bottle. They possess an extremely great amount of energy. Not only will they allow one to instantly recover a great amount of Do Qi, but they also possess the mysterious effect of tempering one's veins and bones. You can consume 1 drop when the Do Qi within your body is unable to keep up during the refinement." Xiao Yan carefully received the jade bottle. He sensed the vast and mighty energy that radiated out of it. Even with his eyesight and experience, a glint of shock still involuntarily appeared in his eyes. He naturally understood how precious the ancient dragon essence blood was. These 5 drops of refined essence blood would cause elite experts to fight in the outside world. After all, these things were not only able to swiftly recover one's exhausted Do Qi, they were also able to temper one's body, enabling one to be comparable to that of some magical beasts. This matter is of great importance and it is unwise of me to boast. Although this ancient dragon essence blood is precious, the little me shall temporarily accept it. Xiao Yan did not put up an act at this moment. He immediately cupped his hands together and inhaled a deep breath of air. His body flashed, transforming into a ray of light that appeared in the sky above the volcano. He sat in the sky beside the large cauldron. Elder Zuli's expression gradually became serious when he saw that Xiao Yan was preparing to begin. He muttered, "The subsequent matters will depend on you.